welcome to the second round of the Grundig Cross Country World Cup. My name's Mark Bicycle. I'll be taking you through today's races. Houffalize is a classic of the Grundig World Cup circuit. They've had 6 races here over the past 7 years. First one was in 1990 with a break of a year until we've had 5 consecutive races since 1992. An extraordinary thing today is that the classic road race, the Liège-Bastogne-Liège, comes through the town, as well as the Mountain Bike World Cup. That must be a first ever, I should think. 2 World Cup races, one off-road, one on the road. With over 35,000 spectators today, this will be an event to watch. All of the main contenders are here today. Rune Heidel, Jan-Erik Ostergaard, David Baker, Christophe Dupuy, Miguel Martinez, Alison Seidel, Julie Furtado, Caroline Alexander. But this is the mayor of Houffalize, Jos Lutgen. The questioner was saying it's a great day for you, and he's saying, yes, I haven't seen as many people in Houffalize before. Mountain biking is responsible, and I thank you for this and this day. The question is, the Liège-Bastogne-Liège is over. Can you concentrate on the MTB now? The mayor says yes, but it should be in the Guinness Book of Records. The first time we've had 2 World Cups in a day. I'm very happy for Houffalize and for myself. Here's an impression of what happened earlier in the day when that classic road race came through the town. One rider out on his own by over 2 minutes. The Vlaanderen 2002 rider Gerrit, being chased down by the pack. A couple of Motorola riders on the front there. Plus a couple of the GAN team. British rider Chris Boardman's teammates. But Houffalize, it's in the Urte Valley in the Ardennes, and as I said before, this is the 6th time a race has been held here across country. It's becoming a classic on the cross-country circuit. Very, very difficult course. Marvellous shot of that road pack going through there. A bit smoother than the off-road riding we're going to watch later on in the programme. And this is Bernard Hinault, 5-time winner of the Tour de France, 2-time winner of Liège-Bastogne-Liège. He's being asked what he thinks of mountain biking. And he says it's a fantastic thing. I hope road racers can cross over to mountain bikers and that mountain bikers can cross over to the road. What do you think of mountain biking in general? He says it's fabulous. It's very fast, particularly in the descending states. He says, I take my hat off to them. Is mountain biking good for cycling? He said, yes, it is, of course, I've tried it, but not in competition. He says he thinks it's complementary to road racing. As we go through to the women, the women's race we're going to watch first of all.
Eva, number 44, I think this is not what you expected before you started in Lisbon, right?
Yeah, we never tried to start in the back, so we want to try everything in the life. So we didn't finish in Portugal because we had flat tires. So we are trying it from the back.
This is Hedersu Putlitz, the German rider. She says she wanted to come in the top 15 in Lisbon, but there just wasn't enough time. She said in the middle of the race she didn't feel so good.
Because I felt so good and the course was very good, and then you had 2 flat tires in the first 10 minutes, so it was very bad. But hopefully I do better today and don't get any flat tire.
And that was the wonder of last season, Gunri Tadal, now riding on the same team as 1995 world champion Bart Brent Jens, American Eagle. Join me after the break for the women's race. Welcome back to Houffalize for the 3-lap women's race. 32 kilometres. 10.7 kilometres a lap with over 425 metres of climbing per lap. One of the classic courses on the circuit and one of the hardest as well. This is going to be one of the longest races with Caroline Alexander right in your picture, number 5. Julia Furtado on her left, number 2. Streaking off from the start. A very hard start it is as well. Racers have to climb right up high, but already these 3 riders, it looks like Caroline Alexander, followed very closely by Alison Seidel, the World Cup leader at the moment. Yes, that's number 1, the Volvo Cannondale rider, with Julie Furtado, number 2, dicing it out together. This is one of the hairiest descents on the circuit. This is where Caroline Alexander has to keep in contact with these people. Fabulous climber that she is. She's been working on her descending. This is where it will tell. As we look at the spectators, over 35,000 of them packed in to see the women's race. And just look at this gnarly descent. It looks like they've already dropped Caroline Alexander. That's Furtado in front with Seidel, 10 metres off her back wheel. Of course, last year the conditions here were very, very wet and muddy, and that looks like American Eagle rider Gunrita Dahl. Came 3rd at Plymouth in her first World Cup race last year, followed closely by Caroline Alexander. As we take a peek at Julie Furtado, looking quite composed on that climb. I don't know whether you remember this from last year, but it was so wet and miserable, but the conditions today are completely different. Very, very hot. As we look at Gunrita Dahl coming through, breathing very heavily. Used to be a 3,000 metre running, but switched over to mountain biking last year. And it looks like she's already got back up to Seidel. Or should I say, got up to Seidel and Furtado. Caroline Alexander just off the back there, 15 seconds behind. Been training very, very hard as Caroline, on the road, off-road. Trains a lot with the British male riders. That's Susan Dematteis, 9th overall in the World Cup last year. 8th, should I say, sorry. Came 7th in the world. And that's twin rider Eva Orvasova-Low, teammate of Tim Gould, followed by 93 world champion Paola Pezzo. Very good descender, Pezzo. As we take a peek at Furtado and Gunrita Dahl, looks like they've dropped Seidel. And I'm hearing it over my headphones. It sounds like Seidel's had a problem with her chain. I think she's about 20 or 25 seconds behind those 2 riders. She's going to have to work really hard to catch up to them. She's just in front of that rider, Caroline Alexander. Oh, and Seidel's already back on them. She's so composed now as Furtado's waving the cameraman on the motorbike out of the way. Going back to Seidel, usually blasts off. There's Dematteis, followed by Eva Orvasova-Low, silver medalist at 91 World Championships. Came out of the blue to take that medal. Seidel's being a lot more patient these days. She's not doing what she used to do, just blast right off from the start, a la John Tomac. I think that comes from her road racing days. And looks like they dropped Gunrita Dahl for about 50 metres. I don't know whether the pace is hurting her. Caroline Alexander looking very composed. She knows how to ride her own race. Had such bad luck last year. Seems to be going better this year, and that's current standings at 2 laps. Seidel in the lead, Furtado and Dahl. Alexander just off of those 3. Looks like Eva Orvasova-Low has dropped Susan Dematteis. As we look at Seidel streaming down that descent with Furtado, both taking it easy, stretching the hamstrings. Not pushing it too hard, they know there's a long way to go. As I was saying, Gunrita used to be a 3,000 metre runner, switched to mountain biking last year. She won the Norwegian mountain bike series. 8 races, 7th first and a second. Not bad for your first season. And there's Britain's premier women's cross-country rider, Caroline Alexander. She's not staying with these two though down this descent, just at the end of the lap. Seems like the pace is telling me the Gunrita as well. She didn't finish the World Championships. This woman did though, she won it. She came first in 1995 and in 1994. And it looks like she's dropped Furtado. That is a surprise. Furtado's won here twice before. She won in 94 and 93. Last year in the desperate conditions she came third, but it looks like that looks like Seidel. She's come over first. Superb result. Second consecutive win. That's a first for her. Excellent stuff for Seidel. Who's it going to be in second place? I should think it'll be Furtado. I don't think Gunrita Dahl was going to take her place. No, it's not. Furtado looks happy. She's pleased. She looks tired as well. 1:53.47 for Furtado. And there on the left, Gerhard Zadrabilek, now retired. And that's Gunrita Dahl coming over third. Excellent results. Equals that performance of Plymouth last year. So unlucky at Lisbon, she punctured twice.
Listen, you must be satisfied. 2 starts, 2 wins, huh? Can't go better.
Well, of course. I think you want to start the season with a few good results, get some confidence. So it's a fantastic start, sure.
Well, I think it was a tough race for you as well today, huh?
Yeah, I think I think I'm just trying to try some different things out right now, and trying to pace myself a lot better, be a little more patient, and see what I can do at the end of the races, as opposed to going out really hard and setting a pace, and choosing to put it to them in the second half of the race now instead of at the beginning. And I think that's a little older, a little more experience, and obviously it seems to be working well.
There you have it from the horse's mouth. Seidel telling you she's more patient as we see confirmation of results. Seidel first, Furtado second, Dahl third, Alexander fourth, Dematei fifth. The other British riders, Deb Morrell was 18th with Louise Robinson 36th. And earlier over the weekend we spoke to Thomas Frischneck, the Ritchie rider and the 1995 World Cup winner.
Thomas, good morning. Good to see you here. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, had a nice sleep. Thanks a lot.
Thomas, we found it a good idea to have the winner of the last weekend's race in Lisbon to present the Houffalize course here to show us 2-3 really typical sections of the course. Is it okay?
Sure, I was planning on pre-riding the course. Just enjoy me.
Okay, come on, let's go.
There you have a description of the course there. Length 10.7 kilometers.
Houffalize is one of the
425
very
meters.
classic mountain bike races we have on the World Cup circuit. It starts out with a very steep climb, about 2 or 3 minutes up the paved road, and first lap coming up that hill, everyone can feel the lactic acid in their legs. It's a really tough climb to start out with. Afterwards we have a lot of single track in the woods, a lot of routes, so it's a fairly technical course, and I show you around and show you some spots where the race could be decided. single track section we saw before is probably not the place where the race is going to be decided, but it definitely could be here in this hot spot. It's not just difficult to ride, also it's going to be very dusty, especially in the first lap, and the whole pack comes down. This is going to be the last steep climb before the finish, and if there are a couple guys together going for the last couple minutes into the race, I'm sure the race is going to be decided here at this place. See you at the start line. Here we are, ready to take off.
Jan-Erik, ich kann mir vorstellen, das einzig Positive von Lissabon letztes Wochenende war,
the only positive thing from Lisbon is your number 22 start number,
aber bei deinem Leistungsvermögen,
means no qualification.
in Lissabon schon ein bisschen mehr ausgerechnet, oder?
But in your shape, don't you think you should be higher in the standings? And Jan-Erik says in Lisbon he wanted to concentrate on coming in the top 50. He's not so fit as he was this time last year, but he feels good. He'll go 100% today. He says he has slicks on the front and back wheels, and just look at that tread pattern. Very innovative.
I had a flat race last week, but I feel a lot more rested up this week. And this is like the best day I've seen Houffalize in many years, so I'm looking forward for a good race.
As we look at John Tomac, 11th in the previous round in Lisbon. What's that man going to do today? Join me after the break for the start of the men's race. For the second race of the weekend, the men's 5-lap, 53-kilometre race. 425 metres of climbing, with approximately 45% single track, 55% wide track. As we look at Tim Gould, number 5, riding for Schwinn, right in the middle of the picture. On his left, Mike Kluger, the 1990 Grundig Challenge Cup winner. Been around a long time as Kluger. One of those very inconsistent riders, though, since 1990. He's only featured very rarely in races, but he won here in 1993. Had a fabulous race that day. Despite almost ripping off a fingernail on his left hand, he still won the race. As we look at Marcel Arndt taking the riders up this long climb. Thomas Frischneck said they're in anaerobic deficit. Legs full of lactic acid, hurting really bad. And it looks like Kluger has already gone to the front. Big, powerful rider. Remember, he did so well last week at Lisbon. He came 7th, almost seemingly from nowhere. He only came 121st in the World Cup last year. But he likes this course. Came 3rd here in 1990, 1st in 93. So he's got a good record here, as he's already got the 50-metre lead on the next rider. Can't see who that is down this descent. No idea, I'm afraid. Can't see those riders. I think it could have been one of the Sun Chippy riders, though. Yes, it was. It was Christophe Dupuy. That's followed by Miguel Martinez, 2nd in the Senior World Championship last year. And he's still only 20 years old. A fabulous rider he is. Both of them riding for the Sun Chippy team. There's Tinker Suarez. That's Frischneck. Jan-Erik Ostegard. There's a British rider, GT rider, David Baker. Followed by 3-time world champion, Henrik Janice. And that's European champion just behind him, Jon-Christophe Savignoni. As we look at Rune Heidel taking him down the downhill. That's Lenny Christensen, his teammate, riding for Giant. Tinker Juarez. And that's Marcel Arndt, a little group forming already on the front of the race. As this man, Rune Heidel, leads them out. Had such a brilliant race here last year. Absolutely demoralised the opposition. Just went from the gun and blasted it. Totally different conditions, I must admit. Christophe Dupuy didn't do quite as well. And that's Lenny Christensen, Heidel's teammate. That looks like, oh, Dupuy's off. as Heidel goes through on the left-hand side of your screen. Dupuy comes off. That teaches you to try and keep up with Heidel on the descent. It looks like Christensen, Heidel's teammates, come past Dupuy. Unlucky for Dupuy as we look at Jan-Erik Ostergaard. Third in the World Cup last year, Jan-Erik. But it looks like Lenny Christensen has now come into the lead. Came second here in 1993 to Mike Kluger. But unfortunately for him, that result was nullified because he was found to have banned substance in his blood. But he came fifth here last year. It's Jan-Erik Ostergaard along with Heidel. And I think that's Dupuy, that's it is. Dupuy on the back there. There's Mike Kluger. I'm just hearing over the headphones, Kluger's already had a puncture. But he's still in fifth place. Good stuff after 3 laps. Christensen leading. Ostergaard second, Heidel third, Dupuy fourth, Kluger fifth. It looks like Christensen is still holding that lead. Just taking on some refreshment there. So hot today. Over 25 degrees. It looks like Ostergaard's really putting the hammer down. Working very hard. It's very difficult climb here. Just as hard in the wet as well. And it looks like Christensen's been overtaken. He has, by Ostergaard and Dupuy. Rune Heidel's dropped off the pace a little bit. Not doing what he did last year. Not going quite as well, but this man is going very well indeed. Kluger just behind Heidel. I don't know whether he's smiling or grimacing with the pain. As we watch these two riders, Ostergaard and Dupuy, it looks like they've broken away from Christensen. I think they have, yes. They've got about a 10 or 15 second gap. It's Kluger in fourth spot, doing so well at the moment. Followed very closely by Heidel. But that's Ostergaard on his own. Sorry, that was Dupuy on his own. That's Ostergaard. Oh, it looks like he has dropped him. Yes, he has. Christensen coming through in third spot. Very lonely race today.
Yes, we want to hear you. Yes, this is Christophe Dupuy.
It looks like Christophe Dupuy is going to come through for the win. Excellent stuff. The first time a Frenchman has won the cross-country World Cup. They've won a downhill race, but never before a cross-country. He looks very happy. Being congratulated there by his boss, Max Commensal. Fabulous. Such a dominant team in downhilling, but now they're turning to cross countries. We look at the second man over the line, Jan-Erik Ostergaard. What an improvement on Lisbon. 20 places up to second. Very good riding for the 35-year-old. Who's it coming through in third spot? It's Lenny Christensen. His best result ever at Houffalize. It's his favourite course. As we talk to Christophe Dupuy, he says he would like to thank his wife and his children. And he also likes to thank Max Commensal for having faith in him and taking him on. He encouraged him to take up mountain biking. As we look at the final result, Dupuy first, 2:43.29. Ostergaard second, Christensen third, Rune Heidel fourth, Marcel Arndt fifth, with Kluger sixth. Good ride for Kluger. British riders, Gary Ford 16th, Barry Clark 17th, David Baker 19th, and a brilliant result for Alan Gunner 21st. Martin Early 49th. Join me next week in St Wendel, Germany for the third round of the Cross Country World Cup. I hope you enjoyed today's race. This is Mark Weiss-Eagle wishing you join me next week.